see if this works. Hello, hello, Facebook. It is Friday night. I did all my chores. I did all the things. So I'm super excited to be on here today. I wanted to jump on and say, yo, what's up? I'm actually recording the audio for this for my podcast. So for those who don't know, I do have a podcast called Project Glow Radio. And I'm just going to try this out. I'm going to take the audio from this Facebook Live, I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to throw it in to Project Glow Radio. Now, obviously, I'm not going to do that for all of my episodes. Actually, today I did a really good interview with one of my girls that I met through my first business coach. So today I'm just all fired up, and I decided to get on here and see what is up. What are you doing this weekend? What are your plans? I got some big plans. I got some cleaning plans. But today I wanted to talk about body acceptance, because as you read in the title of this live video, is body acceptance another word for lazy? So that is actually a question I got from one of my readers not long ago. And I had to sit with that for a little bit, because I had to try to understand where it was coming from, the perspective she was seeing it from. And here's the thing. I don't think body acceptance is lazy at all. But I could totally see why she would think it was. See, we live in this society that just has all this pressure. We have all these preconceived notions about how we should be in our bodies. Don't even get me started about all these Halloween memes that are still going around, the body shaming and the food shaming memes about all the burpees you need to do for the food you've consumed. Like, this is just something that has been going on forever, okay? So it has just become our norm. We've been conditioned to believe certain things that are really not the truth. We've been conditioned, just take any kind of woman in a food situation. She's automatically scrutinized either by herself, by society, or it's happening all the time. Hey, Jose, nice to see you. So it's just a thing. And to me, I just want to create more awareness around that so that people understand that actually it doesn't have to be the thing anymore. We can change as a collective, take our power back when it comes to being in our own body and taking up space in our own body, take back our power when it comes to our food choices and our decisions. So is body acceptance just another word for lazy? I don't think so. I think that body acceptance really comes down to owning who we are. It comes down to, and this is the way I'm going to say it, it comes down to discipline. Disciplining your thoughts, disciplining your actions, disciplining how you show up in your life. That's the way that I think it is. And discipline is just another word for self-love. So body acceptance to me is just a journey. And it's not like you're going to wake up and totally love yourself one day. Self-love is such a woo-woo concept. It is so complex, and it's deeper than that. We need to unpack it to understand even what it is. So self-love actually comes from respecting ourselves and respecting the spaces we occupy, like where we hang out with, people that we allow in our lives, relationships we have within ourselves and with our food and with all the things. It's really deep. So body image acceptance, or body acceptance, is work. And we live, let's be honest, we live in a society where beauty objectification has been the standard forever, meaning that was our currency. And there's a lot of people that still follow that notion that beauty objectification is a woman's currency. So we have been conditioned to try to fit into some small box and been taught that there's just one way to have a body. And I'm really happy that we're creating more awareness around that, to know that no, these are just distractions. The minute we get off of focusing, on minute details about our body, about our food, all the things, then we have all this extra energy and these extra resources to go out and do great things in our world, great things in our life. So I wanted to jump on here today just to ask, like, what does that mean to you, body acceptance? Like, what do you feel would need to happen for us to be able to take up more space in our own lives and like in our own body? First of all, I'm a big advocate for nobody has the right to say anything about your body. It's yours. So there's a funny meme one of my friends shared with me, and it was like, I'll actually post it on the page later, but it was hilarious because it said something like, if people have anything negative to say about your body, then just eat them. Like, it was really funny in the context of things, because isn't that the reality of things? People always tend to give an opinion, but we're not asking for the opinions, right? So I think that the more we stand in our power, the more we actually sit in the discomfort of certain things. And I mean, this is why I created Feed That Glow. Honestly, I wanted us to get deep and to get into the feels, to get into the emotions, to understand that it's not just about working out. And it's not just about eating. It's more than that, because fitness and nutrition make up a small portion of our whole existence. So we need to actually step into it and get into the underlying issues of why we feel like we're not enough, or why we feel like we need to do certain things. So even just with my momentum group, which, slight plug, spots are open right now, but even with my momentum group, I've had women come to me and say, like, I really love your group because it's different. It's not just, you know, drill sergeant and no excuses and go, go, go. I'm actually unpacking certain things, and I'm making you sit. We're doing a lot of the mindset work, because if that doesn't change, nothing changes. And, you know, when women come to me and they ask, you know, I want to lose weight, I totally understand. You are allowed to be to want to change certain things about you. I think that there is nothing wrong with that. I mean, look, I used to be a redhead, right? I'm covered in tattoos. Like, we are allowed to want to change certain things about ourselves, and we should be able to do it from a space of feeling like in our truth. So it's not because we think if we do this certain thing that then we're going to earn the right to whatever, right? So I know a lot of my clients, well, I shouldn't say a lot. I do have a portion of my clients that when they do come to me, you know, they want that feeling. They want that feeling of like, I want to weigh this number, because what they really want is the feeling behind that number. They can remember a time where they weighed certain amount of weight and they were on top of the world. So what they want is not necessarily that number. They want that feeling. So then my goal as their coach is to teach them that they can start to embrace it now. And that the more that they show up for themselves in that feeling, then the more that they're just evolving and changing and growing, and they might not ever reach that number, but they're actually embracing the journey, because it's not just about an end goal. I mean, the end goal, honestly, is death. So it's not a race. Health and wellness is forever. So it's not, you know, I go on a meal plan for 12 weeks and then that's it. It's actually we eat for the rest of our lives. So maybe we should start exploring how to heal our relationship with food. And this is why I've created certain programs around that, just so that we can question, like, is this true for me? You know, if I eat a chocolate bar, do I need to do 190,000 burpees? No, it's not true. So you can choose to eat it and move on. So I wanted to jump on here, do a really quick video all about body acceptance. And no, it is not lazy. It's actually, I feel body acceptance, just like moderation, can be hard because we are going against the norm. We're going against what everybody else is doing, and we're choosing different. We're showing up for ourselves in a different way. And we're doing it from a sense of being more kind and gentle towards ourselves. I mean, research has proven self-criticism gets you nowhere. They have done so much research around that. Procrastination, over shopping, overeating, all the things. They've recreated the same study, and self-criticism is not a motivating factor at getting you towards your goals. It just isn't. So doesn't that beg to stand the difference of asking ourselves, well, what can I do different then? You know, instead of beating myself up, then what can I do different? And to me, to do different, I'm going to teach you something. I want you to write this down. It's called home. My goal as your coach is to help you heal your relationship with food, help you heal your relationship with your body, help you just get back into your body. So I help women come back home into their body to take up space in their body, to then take up space in their life. So if we say home, H is for honor and respecting it. I mean, just like any, let's say, 2-year-old is going to have a temper tantrum because they want to eat a crap ton of candy, we wouldn't just give that to them, right? We would teach them, no, right? Honor and respect. It's all about discipline. No, you can't just have what you want. You know, it's 3 p.m. and you want to eat all this, like, you know what I mean? It's really applying the honor and respect. Honor and respect yourself. O is for owning it. So this is your body. Nobody else is going to take care of your body. In fact, I believe that the more that we start to take up space in our body, the more we get clear with our boundaries, the more we get clear with our time, we're more discerning with the people that hang around us. We're more discerning with the certain hobbies and things that we do, because we are learning to take up space, all of the space, right, in our lives. And that's beautiful. And it is vital, and it's necessary, and it's your obligation. Nobody else is going to do it for you. And for moms out there, I love working with moms because you're modeling to your children that your role and your own, like your only purpose in this world is not just to be the mom, right? You are teaching your kids that you're worthy as a person too. So you're allowed to have time to yourself. You're allowed to, you know, lay on the couch and read a book or whatever. You're allowed to do these things. And when you're doing this and your children are watching by example, you're setting such a great role model to teach them that, hey, I can do that too. You know, like, especially moms to daughters, like, you don't want them growing up to think that their only, you know, leeway or right to this world is to, like, take care of all the people and then she comes last. Like, that is not the message we're sending to our daughters, right? So we want them to know that they're allowed and they're entitled to certain things as well, right? Taking up space and owning it. So H, honor, respect. O, own it. M, that's being mindful. So I want you to be really, really mindful of the language, the thoughts, like your actions, all the things towards yourself and even to others. When I give talks, I talk a lot about cognitive distortion. And for those of you who don't know what cognitive distortion is, go watch those Dove beauty commercials. I first saw those commercials back in 2013, and it changed my life because my perspective switched. My mind was blown. Like 91% of women are dieting, and only 4% of women find themselves beautiful, and all these things. And you get to actually see what a cognitive distortion is. So as women, it's just been conditioned, and it's not because we're mean, but we do like to just look at another woman, and sometimes we think that perhaps it's a zero-sum world, so if she is prettier than me, that means that I'm nothing. You know, I want you to pay attention to those thoughts. Sit in the feeling, like, why do I feel like this? You know, if somebody else is more successful, like, how does that make you feel? I want you to sit in it, because when you can come to a place of actually understanding that it's abundance across the board, and you can be happy for somebody else and excited, and again, it's not because we're mean. This is just notions, I believe, that we have been conditioned to believe and hold as our own, and we've come to a point now where people are getting more woke. We're questioning more things. We're unpacking more things and understanding that perhaps certain narratives are no longer serving us. So when you're mindful not only of how you are towards yourself, but how you are towards others. And then you can choose love instead of coming from fear, right? So I believe that there's only those two options, fear or love. So when you're coming from love, then you understand, sure, she looks great, that's awesome, but it doesn't take away from me. Or sure, she has whatever, but it doesn't take anything away from me, because it's one and the same, right? You can practice and embody it. And then M is learning to embrace. So embracing the full package, meaning there was a time, I can speak from experience, and perhaps this is your story too, but there was a time where I used to look in the mirror and pick myself apart, body part by body part. So when I say embrace, I mean embrace your full package, like your full everything, your personality. Like, you are more than this body, right? You have so much more to offer the world, and I feel that the minute we start to embrace, we'll take up space, and the focus is no longer on this, but it's on out there. Like, what can you do? Because I honestly believe we all have magic inside of us. We all came here to this earth with gifts to do something with our lives, and you can never underestimate the power of influence you have on another person. So perhaps your role is to be the darn best mother ever, or you're going to inspire other people, or you're talented with your voice, you can sing, or you're a great writer, or you create music. Like, we all come, or maybe you're really good at cooking. I need to practice those skills. But we all come here with a purpose and a gift, and when we take the focus off of our body, then we can start to do the work and develop those skills, the gifts that we've been given. So I feel when we start to embrace, then we're embracing the fullness. So I did a podcast interview also this morning. I can't wait to release that one. And basically she was talking to me that the biggest sign for confidence is learning to ask for what you want in life. I mean, I can't tell you how many times in my own experience where I wouldn't apply for a certain job, or I wouldn't go do a certain activity because in my head, I wasn't pretty enough, or I wasn't thin enough, or I wasn't whatever enough. And I know that I'm not alone in that story. So when you can see the world for what it truly is, you can change how you see. Perspective is always our power. So when you understand that you're not alone in these struggles, that yes, beauty objectification seemed to be the standard, but as a collective, as a group of women, and we're strong, and we can change this, and I believe we will change it. So there's a pushback coming with the body positive movement, and when you start to see things like, again, those memes from Halloween, right? And then Christmas is coming. So people are going to be in a rush, right? To like do all the things because they think that they need to do that to fit some standard. And again, I'm not saying that it's not okay to want to get in shape or, improve your health. But I just want you to question why you're doing this. So because ultimate health has nothing to do with the size. Nothing. Ultimate health has everything to do with the mental health and like your emotional health. That is ultimate health. It is a mind, body, soul connection. And again, this is why I created Momentum, because it is the program that helps you get into the feels and understand behind the scenes. So again, short plug, that is open right now. We start on the 6th of November. If you're not sure if it's for you or not, reach out. Again, there's no finish line. I'm just trying to show a different way of being. I'm trying to teach women that food is just food. You want the chocolate, eat the chocolate. You are honestly doing way more damage to yourself by, first of all, depriving on the chocolate, and then perhaps your story is that you binge on all the things before you finally eat the chocolate, and then perhaps you just fall into this self-hate, self-loathe mode, and you just really get stuck there, and then you pull in the reins again to just deprive. Where if you were to just eat the thing and move on guilt-free, totally being aware, however, right? Again, discipline is another word for self-love. So understanding that, yeah, I had a chocolate, I enjoyed it, and I'm gonna move on. Because not move on in the sense that I'm gonna jump on a treadmill and do all this work. Move on in the sense that you enjoyed it. Life is short. Eat the damn chocolate, right? But be aware that you're doing it, and understand that when we eat our food, we don't always eat it in isolation. And the reason being, because we are emotional beings, the minute we start to guilt ourselves, then how do you think the rest of your story is going to play for your eating of that day, right? But if you come in and you're like, dang straight, I had a chocolate because I wanted it, I felt good with it, it was great. Next meal, you didn't self-deprecate. Your next meal, guaranteed your options that you choose are going to be more in your favor, as opposed to, because you slashed one tire, might as well slash the other three. Like, that notion is the notion that we need to figure out, because we are all emotional beings, right? And we are all emotional eaters, and it all comes down to sitting with those feels and actually listening to what it is inside, why we're doing the thing. So that is all I have for you today. If you watch this on the replay, of course, say hey. I'll come back and give you a shout out. And if anything I said sparked you, and you want to continue this conversation, for sure, reach out. But yeah, so this is the first time that I'm trying to take the audio from this live video, and I'm going to throw it in Project Glow. So Project Glow Radio is my podcast. You can find it on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. Still in the baby steps. It's a little baby podcast right now, but I do have guest speakers, and I'll do some solo episodes like this. Not all pre-recorded like this, however, but this is something I wanted to try. And yeah, thanks for being here. You girls are awesome. So have a good Friday.